Hi, welcome to Sober Healing. So tonight we are talking about a deeper subject. It is on trauma, and I believe that trauma has a direct correlation to addiction, and that's why I want to talk about it. This is through my own experiences. I'm hoping that something will help you in some way. I am not a professional, and I do think that if the things that you've tried and I've suggested and you've done them and it's not working, I think you should always look into a professional, okay? But there's lots of things you can do to try to do things yourself and take responsibility for trying and see where you get. You'd be surprised. You're a lot stronger than you think you are, okay? I'm telling you that because I know a lot of people on drugs and alcohol. They don't think they're strong. The first step is to try to get yourself to get some help so that you can get off the drugs and alcohol, and you would be shocked how strong you really are. Okay, so we're going to talk about trauma. The definition is a deeply distressing or disturbing experience. Well, we've all had that, right? But it's a matter of where on the scale is it? Is it down here at 1 or is it up here at 10? Because that's going to determine how you're going to solve it. If it's a small trauma and you don't feel completely out of control, you're going to try to work through it better than if it was way up here on the scale, okay? And most likely you will turn to drugs and alcohol if you can't figure it out because you're hurting, you're in severe pain, and you're just trying to get out of pain. To me, that's real simple, but people complicate this. People that turn to drugs and alcohol are not bad people. They're painful people. They're hurting. And I believe they're just trying to solve their pain and try to feel better. Okay, so physical trauma is basically a physical injury. Car accidents, sports injuries, a severe burn, broken bones. These are all the kinds of things that would be of physical injuries, okay? That causes trauma. And sometimes it takes years to get better. Okay, emotional. Now the emotional trauma is basically events that leave us feeling unsafe and helpless. If you're unsafe and helpless, sometimes you're hopeless, right? And that's horrible. I mean, you just might have gone through a divorce, the horrible things that happened through that event. Bullying. Bullying, I'm that's touchy for me. I've been bullied, and it can come from anywhere. It can come from school, family, people that you thought were friends. It can come from anywhere. But bullying is bad. It can leave an emotional scar on you for the rest of your life unless you start to look at why, who. You know, you gotta move through it. You gotta take your power back on that one. Okay, so we've got humiliating experiences when you're totally embarrassed and you've done something and you can't even go back to the place it happened or whatever. But I mean, that's those things stay with people. Surgeries. How about a surgery that takes a year to recover from? Whew. Death of your friends, family, or pets, your loved ones. I mean, I'm still working through my pets. That's a hard one. So these leave emotional scars unless you actually start to try to work on them, look at them directly in the eye and say, I accept that I feel this way and I'm going to be kind to myself and allow myself to grieve or to move through this pain in some way. Now this is where, again, I can only take you so far on these. I'm going to be giving you some suggestions on how to help yourself after, but we have one more. So a spiritual trauma are events that threaten and damage our core spiritual beliefs and goals. Many people in this world started off when they're young believing in something. And as their life has gone on and it maybe didn't go the way they planned, maybe they stopped believing in it as they went. I've heard many people say that. People have been severely abused throughout their life in some way and they blamed God, okay, for not helping them. So if there's an event that you had to witness you may connect that with why wasn't, the Lord here when these things happened, natural disasters and things like that. Me personally, I just absolutely love God. I've loved God since I've been a kid. I have never blamed him for anything, okay? If anybody is getting blamed, it's going to be myself. I have taken on responsibility for everything in my life, and I don't see that in a lot of people, but I hope that after you've watched some of these, that you will start taking responsibility for helping yourself, okay? All right, so let's talk about some of the things that you can do to try to help yourself. Diet. Diet's a big one. If you're gonna go through all the fast food restaurants every day and eat everything really terrible, and you start to feel even worse because now you've put all that stuff in your body on top of the alcohol, then your whole body's full of chemicals. That's the worst thing you can do for your body. If anything, you want to try to expel some of the toxins. So, fruits and vegetables and water, lots and lots of drinking water and teas and things like that are gonna push them out, not put more in, okay? So that's number one. Number two, look, exercise is, a word that a lot of people don't even like to hear anymore. But I don't look at exercise as jogging anymore or going to the gym and pushing myself that way. I feel that breathing, as you all know, and walking, and while I walk, I bring my knees up. I do things because it feels good and I'm outdoors. But you can do stepping things inside and move around. You just keep moving your body and breathing, and that's really just to me as good as going to the gym for a half an hour every day and lifting these things. So that's just me personally. Salt lamps and essential oils. I do like the iridescent lighting, so candles, small lamps. I've got a few of these things. When you plug them in, they do things, and they're little lights. Things like that. Very calming. I've got these crystals that are lit with the lights. So all these things help with calming the space. Okay. The other thing you can do is start decluttering, because decluttering, it makes more room. So it makes actually more room in your brain. You're actually taking out the cluttering in your brain when you clean your home or your space around you. The biggest thing is to turn off the phones, turn off the TVs, get away from the noise, and just kind of let whoever you feel is bigger than you kind of speak through you. Listen to your inner voice. Try to connect with who you really are. As time goes on, you get a little stronger and a little stronger. If you feel that you need help along the way, there's tons of help out there. Join a group. I'm in 2 of them, and I love them. And I'm going to be in more because I just love the idea of having a place to go to where everybody believes in the same thing you do. Okay? I know some people love church, some people don't like church, but there's plenty of things online. Whatever you're looking for, there's groups. You can even join online groups where there's Zoom meetings and whatnot if you don't want to do something in person, but do something, okay? Take that first step and say, I'm going to help myself to try to get better. And I know if you just take one little step in front of the other, we're going to get somewhere, okay? I do want to do one more thing. Ready for this? Force yourself to laugh. I'm telling you, it's what I've done this year. You could be sitting there crying, and if you force yourself to laugh, the energy actually shifts the thought pattern in your brain, and all of a sudden you stop laughing and you're in a different place. It works. Just try it. Okay? So does singing. La 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 la. When you're depressed and you sing, the humming, the vibrations actually change the chemical balance in your brain. These are the things that I do, and these are the things that I hope you'll try, because you can't just do it once. You gotta do it. So for 1 week, laugh once a day, as hard as you can, force it, and see how you feel when you're done. Try it with the humming and the singing, just a little bit. You don't even need to do it for a long time, just a short amount of time, and see where it takes you. Okay, I can't wait to hear back from you guys. We're taking this one step at a time. Okay, stay with me. All right, kids, have a wonderful night, and don't forget to breathe.